Okay, in today's lesson, we take a final look at the prohibition against doing work on Shabbos. And we've been talking over the last couple of lessons that when there's a prohibition, negative prohibition not to do work on Shabbos, what is work? If you work in an office downtown, then fishing for you is relaxation. That's not work. If you're a fisherman, then it's work. So if the Torah gives us a prohibition against doing work on Shabbos, there has to be an objective definition. So the Rambam gives us that objective definition in the form of 39 avot melachot, 39 primary forms of prohibited activities for Shabbat. And then out of each of these avot, parent forms of work, there are tuldot, derivatives, any type of work that would belong to any of these 39 general categories of work would be prohibited on Shabbos. Of course, to learn all of the laws of Shabbat and all of the many hundreds or thousands of prohibited forms of work would take more than a 2-minute video. It might be a 20-hour or a lifetime video. But for today, we've already given you the first 26 general categories of forbidden work over the last couple of lessons. Now for the final 13. So here we go. This first one is very interesting. Beating with a hammer. Makeh b'patish. Essentially what that means is putting the final touches on any type of project where you built a structure or you built some type of vessel. So if you're, just as an example, it could be even if you do something really, really small. So for example, if you're at one of those pottery places, like a bunch of fun, and you put a little kind of finishing touch, it could be just a little dot of paint, that could be enough to for it to qualify as makeh b'patish. Okay, next couple of avot melachot pertain to the process of preparing parchment and writing on parchment as they would do back in the day. So trapping an animal on Shabbat is forbidden. Slaughtering or taking the life of any animal on Shabbat is forbidden. By the way, taking a fish out of water would be a derivative of this as well. Skinning the hide off an animal on Shabbat is prohibited. Processing the hide of the animal to turn it into parchment, forbidden. Removing the hair from the hide, also forbidden. By the way, changing the texture of anything from being bumpy to smooth, doesn't have to be parchment or hide, would be a derivative that would be prohibited under this general category. Cutting the leather is to kind of make it, prepare it to be proper parchment in a scroll, another form of forbidden work. And by the way, a derivative of this is anytime you cut wood or metal with precision, would be forbidden under this category. Writing on Shabbat, prohibited. Erasing writing on Shabbat is prohibited. Back in the day, and even to this day, when a scribe writes a Sefer Torah, it's necessary to have lines. They make this little. It's not done with ink. It's done with a scratch in the parchment. They make very straight lines to help the scribe write the words in an organized manner. So making those lines on Shabbat is prohibited. Next, kindling a flame is a no-no. You can't do that on Shabbos. Extinguishing a flame is a no-no. And the final of the 39 forbidden forms of work is transferring an item from a private domain to a public domain, or vice versa. Now, of course, in many cases, carrying something in your pocket from a public domain to a private domain is not work in the conventional sense, but it does fall under these categories. That's why it's important to learn the laws to know what constitutes work on Shabbat to avoid it.